Alright, what's up guys? It is 8 in the morning, exactly. I'm with Jamie and we're at 24 Hour Fitness in Tyson's because Christina's awesome and we're gonna hit a leg workout for you guys and I'm gonna put a commentary over the whole thing. We're not doing anything that loads the upper back because of my injury, so Jamie's being a trooper and doing a bunch of like banded work and like a lot of dumbbell stuff with me, so it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be different, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If anyone has lower back issues, this workout is completely safe for you to do, and I'll see you in the workout.
Welcome to the feast, I unleash, I'm a motherfucking beast.
Alright, what's up guys? Coming at you with another informative commentary for this glute workout. So it's been a long time since I posted a glute workout, so I really hope you guys enjoy it. This is a workout that does not load the back, meaning there's no pressure on the lower back for this entire workout. So if you have low back issues, low back pain, a strain, anything, or you just want to take the pressure off for a workout, this is a great one to try. So here we started with a hip abductor machine. We went super light. This machine didn't have the weights leveled, but we used level 3 and 4 for sets of 20 to 25 here. You can see that I'm controlling this movement as much as I possibly can, squeezing at the back, and I'm a little bit off the seat to get a better contraction in the hip abductors, which is the side of your glute. So this workout is also very gluteus medius focused, so the side of your glute, rather than the gluteus maximus, which is hit more by those big compound lifts like the squat, deadlift, hip thrust. So this is more of a catch-up workout for those smaller muscles that may not get as much love as your gluteus maximus. And everyone wants a nice round side booty. So here we superset that hip abductor with banded abduction walks. We did 10 per side. We did 4 rounds of that superset, and then we moved right on next to that machine to the hip adductor machine. So usually you would sit and push your knees inward, but this is actually a glute squeeze exercise. So I have my heels on the pad and I'm squeezing my glutes to bring my heels together, and I'm like kind of almost hip thrusting the pad, and it looks really awkward. But if you have a machine like this that the seat does not move, it's actually far more effective. I have one of those at my gym. I was just visiting this gym to film. So try it on a abductor machine where the seat does not move, and you'll feel it a lot in your glutes. We superset that hip adductor machine, I call it a reverse glute squeeze, whatever, with these banded kickbacks. So we used our strongest resistance band and did 20 kickbacks per leg. Just pretend like it's a cable kickback, and you get a really great contraction from the tension of the band being on your legs the entire time. And it's a great glute activation workout. So all this banded work and the lightweight adductor stuff we're doing is to get the glutes nice and active, fired up for the rest of these exercises, so that we can get the most work done on our glutes rather than on the quads and hamstrings for the majority of the workout. So here I am doing a walking dumbbell lunge, again not loading the back. So we're doing it with a pulse. So all that means is I'm going down, pulsing once with the weight in my front heel, and then coming up. And key tips for the walking lunge: you really want to have all the weight in that front leg, in that heel of your foot and the midfoot. And then when you push up out of that deep lunge, it should be pushing from that front foot. Your back leg should never be doing the work. This goes for a lot of unilateral movements. The front leg should always be doing the work. And another thing I like to do with walking lunges is, as you can see while I'm going, I have the dumbbells at my sides, but when I come down into that lunge, I'm trying to bring the dumbbells up kind of by my calf, like in front of my thigh, so that the weight is I'm putting more emphasis and more of that weight onto my front leg to emphasize the work that it's doing there. And so we're going at a very slow pace and pulsing very deliberately and making sure that I'm feeling each pulse in my glute, and just taking a very slow pace with this. Also, using your heel to sit into, your front heel, is how you're going to activate your glutes the most in a lunge. If your weight's in your toe, you're gonna feel it a lot more in your quads. And so here I have a clip of Jamie doing walking barbell lunges, just to show you guys another variation you can do. This does load the lower back. She does not have back issues, so she was able to do this. So I personally like barbell lunges a lot better because it's not taxing on my grip strength. I have a lot of issues with like holding onto the dumbbells, especially when I want to go as heavy as I need to feel the burn in my legs. So as you saw in the last clip, I was using Versa grips to keep my grip on those dumbbells. But if you have the option to do barbell walking lunges, if your lower back is good to go, I highly recommend doing that because you can go a lot heavier and do a lot more reps without your grip failing on you for this exercise. Next, we moved on to a dumbbell Bulgarian split squat. So this move is extremely difficult. I highly recommend, if you've never done it before, to practice it body weight first. So same thing here. Weight is completely in your front leg and in the front heel of your foot. I'm keeping the dumbbells in line with my legs, and as you can see, I'm getting very deep into this squat. So make sure you can do this exercise to full depth before you start moving up in weight. I actually personally like using the dumbbells better for Bulgarian split squats because it actually helps you balance a little bit better than using the barbell, I believe, because it's like an even weight on each side of you. Then here we superset that Bulgarian split squat with jumping body weight Bulgarian split squats. If you're not advanced enough to do this yet, you can just do stationary lunges or stationary lunge jumps without your foot on the back of that chair. It should provide the same effect. It's a great burn for your quad and your glute.
I don't care how shit-faced you got Saturday night, how hungover you were Sunday. Today is Monday. We're killing it. This is the perfect leg workout for you guys to just sweat your faces off. Like this morning, I woke up 131 pounds. That's 5 or 6 pounds above what I weighed in on Saturday morning. I was really fucking frustrated. Guess what? We're sweating it all out. It's water weight. Do not worry about whatever scale weight jumped up Monday morning. And if you're scared to weigh yourself, just face it. Hold yourself accountable. Face it. Get rid of the guilt associated with the scale. Just look at it as a number. It's like, hey, if the scale's up, I wasn't sticking to my plan. Get back on it. It's gonna follow the work that you do. It's not something to be emotional about. And if you sweat it out like this, it's the best way to just clear your conscience and get a really good workout in.
So as I was saying, I was just saying to make sure you get deep enough into that Bulgarian split squat, whether it be with dumbbells or body weight. If you're not getting deep enough, then you're not going to be activating the glutes. The quads are used for the top half of the movement, and when you're down deep in that hole, that's when you're going to be getting the most out of your glutes. So next we did a superset with deficit dumbbell curtsy lunges. Superset with banded pulsing squats. So here, you can't see it in this clip, but in the next clip you will be able to see I am standing on a slight elevation and stepping back off of that box into the deficit curtsy lunge, which is why it's called that. And again, I'm pulsing for all of my reps. So keeping the weight in my front leg, in that front heel the entire time. This clip is very sped up, so make sure you're going nice and slow and feeling it in the outer side of your glute here. You should feel it on your outer quad, outer side of your glute, and be pushing up from that front leg. The back leg, again, should not be doing much work at all, and if you can prevent it, the back leg should not be doing any work at all. That's the best way to get the most out of this movement. Again, keeping the dumbbells in line with my front leg so that I can keep the weight distributed to that area. I actually have recently started really loving curtsy lunges. You just feel it in a different area in your glute, and it definitely hits a lot of the smaller muscles on the side of your leg, so that you are not leaving any muscles lagging behind. Then we superset that with these pulsing body weight squats with the band above the knee. So the key here is to keep your knees apart as much as you can the entire time. It's very easy to let your knees cave in, but if you're pushing out against that band, you're going to be really activating the glutes and the abductors in your legs. And this is also a really great like accessory burnout exercise that you can add on to basically any leg exercise or any exercise at all that's going to help with your knees caving in during, let's say, a barbell squat or a front squat or any type of compound squat. It's very helpful to use that band to not let your knees cave in so much because that can lead to a lot of injury. So here was the next superset. We just did sets of 20 reps of leg extensions and seated hamstring curls. Again, most of that clip was just sped up. This right here is real time, 20 reps, and just make it burn. Nice, slow, controlled reps. And then here I'm on the seated hamstring curl, same thing, sets of 20. So we're not going too heavy here. The first 10 reps or so shouldn't be super easy, but it should be doable because by the time you get to 15, you're gonna be like, what the heck? I have to crank out 5 more, and that's how you should feel. It should really, really, really be burning. This is where you test your endurance, your muscular endurance, and make sure that you can crank out those last 5 no matter how bad it hurts. Next, we moved on to a superset of seated calf raises with a glute ham raise on the back extension machine. So here, I'm not pulling the weight up on the calf raise with my hands. I put my hands on my hips to emphasize that. Here you can see my heel. It's going all the way down into a full stretch and coming all the way up into full calf extension. And I am controlled and the weight is not bouncing. I see so many people just rushing through their calf raises. It should look slow and controlled, just like this. If you can't do so much weight this way, then you need to lower the weight and make sure you can get into full calf extension before you start adding weight. Here is the glute ham raise on the back extension machine. Notice how I lowered it to adjust for where my hips meet the top of the pad. That's where it should be. Here I have my shoulders caved forward, my hands across my chest, and you can see that my back, alright, so my lower back is not doing any of the work here. My legs are fully extended and I am simply squeezing my glutes in order to bring my torso up, but my torso is completely relaxed. My torso is not tight, no part of my upper body is tight, and my legs are doing the majority, my legs are doing all of the work. And here is just me dying because this workout was taken at probably the fastest pace I've done in a while. We took maybe 30-45 second rests between everything, did 4 sets of everything, and like we were just absolutely sweating our faces off, especially after a New Year's weekend. Like we were dying. So here, our next superset, nice and simple. Cable kickbacks superset with banded kickbacks. So cues for the cable kickback. You want your standing leg to be a little bit bent, and you want to think about scooping your glute up with the heel of that kicking leg. And I like to think about kicking as far back as possible as well to get the best glute contraction there. And so here's my banded glute kickback. It was actually so hard after 5 reps that I had to take a break for a second and then do the last 5. And then here again, the cable kickback. My knee is bent, but it's not bending. It's just my heel is the mover in this exercise, and my hip joint is the one that's doing the most work, not the knee joint. If you find your knee bending in a cable kickback, then you're probably not feeling it so much in your glutes. So think about drawing a semicircle with the heel of your foot that's kicking to get the most out of your cable kickback, and make sure you're holding on to something for balance. I am using these handles that were here, placed so nicely, and it was definitely very helpful to be holding on to something and kind of leaning into that exercise. Lastly, we finished with a tri-set here of a dumbbell sumo stance goblet squat. Again, I did pulses just because everything for this workout, we did a little bit lighter weight just because I'm still being careful about my lower back, and we did a lot of high rep stuff. So here I'm coming down, pulsing once, and coming up. If you're going heavier and the dumbbell's too big that it's hitting the ground, you can always hold it sideways or hold it by the handle sideways in order for that not to happen. So make sure your toes are pointed slightly out, you're coming down and back into that squat, and you're squeezing your glutes together to come up rather than thinking about using your quads or your hamstrings. So again, the weight is in the heels of my feet, coming down, making sure I'm feeling my glutes stretch out at the bottom, and then using that stretch to bring my glutes together to stand up. And then we superset that with 20 jumping banded squats here. So you're seeing it from the side, and you can see Jamie doing the dumbbell squat behind me. So with these, again, keep your knees out as much as you possibly can. Here's the front view. We did 20 reps, and then on the last set, we just did as many as we possibly could. But you can see that my knees are pushing out because they're kind of shaking every time I come down into that squat. That means that I'm really fighting that band, and at this point, this band resistance, which isn't that tough of a band, was really hard because we had done so much hip abductor work in this workout, and this was our finishing tri-set. And then the last exercise of the tri-set was this seated calf extension machine. Again, I can't do a standing calf machine because that loads your traps and your upper back, so we just tried this out. It wasn't my favorite machine, but it got the job done, gave us a little more calf work in there, always trying to grow the calves. But give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
That is a successful leg day. Yeah. I wasn't looking, so I was like, please just hit my hand. Let's not miss on camera. Yeah, I got my Bulgarian shirt from Tough and Tiny. I really love that company. Super cute shirts. I like used to be obsessed with Pokemon, so I got like 5 of these, but that's beside the point. This is what you should look like after leg day. But yeah, super successful workout. It took us just about 2 hours exactly. And we took very, very short rest periods. So if we took any longer rest periods than that, then this would have been a really long workout. So fast pace, high intensity, high rep, breathing hard, heart rate the whole time. If you have the time to get this whole leg day done, I highly recommend it. Very good for the side booty rather than like compound dominant workouts that are more for the gluteus maximus. This workout is very gluteus medius focused because of all of the like little accessory movements and band stuff that we're throwing in there. So hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys later. We're gonna go take selfies now because we didn't work out if we don't. But yeah, see y'all later.